Hi,
I love it.
everybody. Did you know that there are wild horses in North America? Join me as I talk with documentary filmmaker and photographer Jamie Baldanza and Deb Lee Carson as they take
Hi.
on some of their adventures following wild horses in North America. You ready to go? Let's go. Hi there and welcome. My name is Laura. Welcome to Equestrian Skill Builders live broadcast where we discuss equestrian related topics and share ideas and exercises to help you or your riders. If you'd like to improve your riding and training, win more ribbons at your next horse show, who doesn't like that, or generally like other horsey related stuff, then stay tuned because my special guest today, Jamie Baldanza and Deb Lee Carson and I will share some excellent information that will be sure to open your eyes to the magnificence of the wild lands and wild horses around us. One of our guests, Jamie Baldanza. How are you this morning, Jamie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And Deb Lee, how are you?
I'm great. I'm glad I'm sitting in a warm chair in cold, single-digit Minnesota.
Awesome. Yeah, it's cold there, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Jamie is a horse lover since birth, quit her full-time job to follow her passion, photographing wild horses all across Western United States. Utilizing her talents, Jamie created her own production company that concentrates on bringing animal causes to the public through film and photography. Jamie's latest project, the docuseries Wild Lands, Wild Horses, will help bring awareness to wild horse cause. Also joining us is Deb Lee Carson. Hi, Deb.
Hi.
Deb Lee Carson is a photographer and artist. My script is gone here. An artist who has spent the past 8 years capturing the beauty of America's wild horses. She uses her art to start conversation and raise awareness. Deb continues to advocate for America's wild horses by telling their story. Deb is no stranger to the equestrian life as she has spent a lifetime studying equine reproductivity and observing wild horse behavior. Thank you both for being here with me today. Thank you, Deb Lee.
Yep.
Jamie, where are you coming in from? Are you also Minnesota?
No, I'm New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, we just had a snowstorm and then it was 40 degrees today. And then we're going to have another snowstorm tomorrow.
Oh, you
Awesome.
lucky butt, you.
Deb loves snow.
I love snow and I love cold, so it drives me nuts if she gets more snow than me.
Oh, jeepers. Okay. Well, today we're going to be talking about how they started their photography and film journey with wild horses and how they went about creating this docuseries and why it's important for the horse community to step up and adopt the horses and some of the current issues that wild horses and burros are facing today. And if you have any questions or comments about the docuseries, about these horses, how you can get involved, please put it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and answer any questions. You would like to answer any questions if people have questions? Jamie and Deb?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Send them on through.
Okay, so here we go. We got this one. Did you get the video I sent? It's a video of a pony going through 2 crossroads. No, we're not taught. That was, yes, I will look at that, Madeline, but we're going to be talking about wild horses today. Thank you so much. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Laura Kelland-May, and I help people improve the riding and training and understanding of their horses by providing hands-on and now virtual education to provide educated thinking horse people. And I'm going to put my website in the link so you can go and check out what I have to offer there. I'm a competition coach specialist, high performance trained, Equestrian Canada senior judge, and I produce these live equestrian broadcasts. All right. So we are live. If you'd like to have questions or comments, great. And let's get right to the topic here. But before we do that, I want to share this. I do that because I like it.
I I love it.
I have
know.
one of those. We need to bring it with us the next time we're on the range.
Oh my
I
God.
have one of those masks.
Yeah. Okay, what is it? Okay, so Jamie, let's have you go first. What is it about photographing wild horses that drew you to it? Let's say, as opposed to wedding photography.
Well, one, wedding photography includes humans. No, it's really interesting because I come from New Jersey, a very populated state, and I lived in New York City most of my life, which is a city. So when I started traveling out west, it just kind of did something to me. It opened up so many different opportunities, and I got a new appreciation for the United States and the lands and the wildlife. So when I first saw a wild horse, it just blew my mind, and I kind of became obsessed with it. And I just never kind of looked back. I just kept doing it, and then eventually.
Where did you see your wild horse? Where was it?
The first wild horse I saw was in the Pryor Mountains in Montana.
Okay. And how about you, Deb Lee? What did you ever do wedding photography or portrait photography or studio photography or?
I've done a few weddings and I've done a few portraits, and I realized it's not my forte. It scares the bejesus out of me.
What? Why would that scare you? So what is it about doing horses that drew you to it?
The spirit of it, the freedom they represent, just the whole persona around horses. Having grown up with horses my entire life, I just had this connection, but it wasn't until I saw wild horses back in 2006 that I realized that I was dumbfounded. I had no idea. I mean, that's how uneducated I was to what is actually going on in America. I had no idea wild horses existed. So in 2006 was my first encounter. And then 2014 is when I decided to make horses my focus wild horses for as long as I could physically capture their stories, because it's hard work. It's not an easy job.
Could I'm going to show your just this is a page here of some of your art, right?
Yep.
So just kind of, this is, so if you want to go to, it's debleecarson.com, and Jamie told us that this photo here.
Do you have that one, Jamie?
I have that one. It's one of my favorite photos you've ever taken.
Yeah.
So now it's on my wall.
So are these all wild horses here?
Yep.
Fly Without Wings is the
That was the exhibit I did in 2015, and that's when Jamie and I met right before that, because of these horses, because of the Teddy Roosevelt National Park horses. And we each have adopted Mustangs from there.
Excellent. Oh, so Anne-Marie Giacometti, thank you, Anne-Marie, so much. I want to know, has Jamie entered her docu into any film festivals?
We have. 2020, we entered into multiple film festivals, and we've won 10 awards, which you're really proud and excited about.
Excellent. Well, that's great. So that shows that we're
on the right track.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that what time? Well, okay. So this is your documentary series. What? I'm getting mixed up here. How do you find the herds of wild horses? I mean, we have a little bit of a video here. Can I show that? It's okay. So you see at the beginning of that video, it's just a complete wild thing. How do you find horses? What do you do to find these horses?
Well, that's a very interesting question. It actually depends on the herd and the amount of acreage that they are on. When you go on a herd like Teddy Roosevelt National Park, it's about 40,000 acres, and it's a herd that's very much documented. So we know all the hot spots where they already are. But if you are going to a herd that, like is Twin Peaks, California, it's over 800,000 acres, and we've never been there. So we just have to kind of follow our intuition, find water sources, find game trails, and all that fun stuff. Deb's really good with a map, so I kind of let her lead the way, and I just follow.
Jamie's gotten good at maps, though.
I'm getting better.
Yeah.
So it looks like, okay, so this is beautiful, but there are a herd of horses, and then it's not like the city is just behind you or anything. There's a herd of horses, and then whatever you see in front of you is kind of like what's behind you, right? So you have to track these horses, and it's do they have video, or do they have detectors on them so you can find them?
No, we wish.
Right? No, that would take the fun out of it. That's half of the fun, is trying to find them. And like Jamie said, it depends on what area that we are in. And well, the Bureau of Land Management has a list of where all of the herds are located. So you can at least find out where a herd is, or where an HMA is. And then after that, it's really up to the individual and how well documented each herd are. And there are a lot of herds that you're 2 miles away from them, and they see you coming in your car, and they're gone. All you see is dust. So there are different ways to approach them too when we do find them.
So it depends on the herd. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. There's some really big hot spots out there that is super popular, like Teddy Roosevelt National Park, the Pryor Mountains, Anarchy in Utah, the Nevada Range, San Wash Basin in Colorado, McCulloch Peaks.
Pryors.
Yeah, the Pryors, McCulloch Peaks. I was just there last week. Horses are really easy to find. Yeah.
South Pools.
And what does a typical day look like when you're out in the field? Like, is it all just beautiful watching these horses run through the setting sun or the rising sun? And
you can go for this one, Deb. No, you go.
Well, for just a prime example, last week when I was in the Peaks shooting in McCulloch Peaks, and that's 20 miles east of Cody, Wyoming, you can find them, but you have to have a 4-wheel drive vehicle. And you can wait all day to get any type of action, or where you want the horse in the particular light, which is, those kinds of shots are true gifts. When you find a horse with a dramatic light, with a dramatic backdrop, they're what we affectionately call money shots, but they're really shots, because they're like, oh my God, that's it. That's what I want. That's what I've been waiting for. And those are really hard to come by, because horses, as most people know, they eat and sleep, and they eat and sleep, and they eat and sleep.
And poop.
Different in the wild.
I was going to say, what people eat and poop.
And poop. Yep, lots of pooping.
I guess that's one way how you track them. It would be through their
through their droppings. If it's fresh, we know we're on the right track. Did it stall?
Droppings, right? I guess. Yep. So there we go. So another Anne-Marie also asked, how long would you need to follow her to get your perfect shot? Hours, days, like how?
Well, it really depends. You can get it in the first 5 seconds, or you can get it like 30 days into it. I know Deb spent 3 months in the park shooting. No, that's okay. Did you want to redo the question so Deb can hear it?
Yeah, sure. So here, Anne-Marie also asked, how long would you need to follow her to get your perfect shot? Is it something that happens, or do you have to set it all up and get somebody like?
It's all luck.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's either you get it the first second, you get it in 5 days, you get it in 3 months. We've gone out and get absolutely 0 shots. And then we'll go out and then get like 100 amazing shots. So it really just depends from day to day.
So this is the map of where you were. This is some of the areas that you traveled to.
Yeah.
So California, Oregon, and what's this state up here?
So that's Washington, and
Yeah.
to my knowledge, they don't have any wild horses.
So it got left off.
It got left. Sorry, Washington. But maybe
Yeah.
there's an adoption story in Washington we can visit.
Yeah.
So the 10 Western states plus North Dakota, 10 Western states, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Oregon, California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and New Mexico, they are all states where the Bureau of Land Management manages wild horses. And then we have North Dakota, which is a herd that we will be filming that's managed by the National Park System.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I've disappeared.
No, no, yeah, we all disappeared. So I just put that so I
There.
make the map bigger. That's all.
Sorry.
That's okay.
She didn't
Sorry
want to
for
see our
doing
face
that to
anymore.
it.
No,
Going in and out.
well, that's not true. Okay, so great. So why did you create this docuseries about the and what do you hope to accomplish with this docuseries?
Well, as Deb and I became photography partners and our Instagram followers began to grow, we realized we were starting to get the awareness out there, but it just wasn't quick enough or reaching enough people. So we wanted to create something on a mainstream level that can not only reach horse people, but people who are interested in conservation, just animals, wildlife docs, and really just bring the wild horse to the forefront of America. A lot of people don't know about them. I'm from New Jersey. It took years before I even figured out they're there. People in the West still don't even know that they're out there. So our main mission is to just let America know they exist. And then from there, we can help come up with solutions to help keep them on the land.
Amen to that.
That sounds easy enough.
Yeah.
Right? No, but it's true. Just getting the word out there. I really didn't know that US. So someone put the comments here. Somebody would like to know. Now she's gone.
Oh, that's okay. Deb's service is like crazy. She'll pop back in.
Okay. Abby wants to know, says that North Carolina has wild horses.
They do. And surprisingly, I have not gone and seen them. So it's on my bucket list.
That's going to be on series 2. Yeah. Abby also says, thank you so much, Abby, for putting these comments.
Yeah,
thank you. Instagram? What's your Instagram? And I'll put it right directly into the comments here.
So my Instagram is This Mustang Life.
Mustang Life. There she's back. There
she is. You're good, Deb.
Okay.
Yep, this is fine. So the Instagram is This Mustang's Life. So
This Mustang Life. Yep. And then Deb's is Spirit Horsewoman, but there's an underscore after Spirit and after horse.
At Spirit underscore horse underscore woman.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a handle gifted by a very talented Chinese artist. Spirit. I would never have chosen that for myself.
Spirit Horsewoman. Okay, so Delphine, thank you, Delphine. She has a comment. What about horses in South Dakota? Are they not considered wild?
Well, I know there's horses in North Dakota at Theodore Roosevelt National Park. I'm unaware of South Dakota. Deb, do you know any?
Well, there's a sanctuary there, the
Black Hills Sanctuary.
Yeah, but that's a sanctuary.
I wonder, are there Forest Service horses there? No.
Well, that's something that you can look in toward.
We will look into that because now I'm curious.
So there's a Deb's Instagram if you'd like to follow Deb, and here is Jamie's if you'd like to follow Jamie about that. Is that right?
This Mustang Life.
Oh, whoopsie.
But I don't mind the Mustang Life.
I know.
I like that.
Can you get that?
I'm sure.
See, there. I changed it.
Oh, Lisa has a question.
Lisa, our Lisa? Your Lisa? Is she on here with us?
No, she doesn't know about this.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, what's Lisa's question?
Who is your favorite wild horse, Deb? and Jamie. Deb can go first.
Oh, my land. Oh, we don't have enough time for that one. Anyway.
Cliff notes.
Cliff notes. Okay. In 2012, when I went out to Teddy Roosevelt National Park to actually photograph the wild horses, I met a stallion named Blaze. And it's because of that stallion that I'm sitting here today with Jamie. He's the inspiration behind my art, and he's no longer with us. He died in 2017.
Do we have a picture of him?
On that
link you had.
Yeah, there's
he was on there.
Let's see if I can.
And we now have a daughter of his. And the year after we adopted his daughter, so I documented her birth in 2015. We adopted her in 2016 because of 8 crazy women. Right there.
That's Blaze.
Which one?
Right above your mouse.
This one?
Wild Blaze of Glory to the right.
That one.
This one?
Yep. And then right below, too, the wild fly. Yeah. And that was the very first time I met him in 2012, that image right there. And it's because of him that. So anyway, in 2017, he died fighting with another stallion. And ever since,
goodness.
I've been trying to find a horse that touches me like he did. And he will always be my spirit horse.
Wow. So we got another few more comments here. Madeline asks, thank you so much, Madeline, for the comment. Do you have a favorite picture and a favorite color horse to take photos of?
Ooh. Yeah, I think my favorite picture, and Deb and I, because we were obviously there at the same time, have very similar photos, is one that I took in McCullough Peaks. And it was, I know they asked the question earlier, like the aha shot. It was one of those shots that you will never get again. It was just, the timing was so perfect. 2 stallions were fighting with the sunset and mountains behind them, and they're perfectly silhouetted. And it kind of became like the poster child for wildlands, wild horses, for its imagery. So that was that image. And then color-wise, oh God, I don't know. Definitely
That's
not
a good
white.
question, isn't it?
Yeah, white's too hard to shoot and black's too hard to shoot. So I would have to say good old chestnut.
Oh yeah, you're a chestnut lover. Where I love the blood bays.
Yeah, I love my chestnuts.
Sucker for red. I love red.
So Abby has a question. She says, what's your advice for beginner horse photographer?
Ooh. Do you want to answer this, Deb?
No, you go.
I would say just go out there every day and keep shooting and mess with, take your camera off auto and just mess with all the settings. I mean, if you're a horse person already, you already can kind of predict some of the behaviors, look for the ears forward and like if they're going to run and do something fun, but just go out and spend time and you'll figure out what works for you and your photography very quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm a beginner horse photographer, and I just found that you just have to go out and take a lot of pictures and figure out, well, that didn't work out. So that didn't work out. And so, well, that was pretty cool. And what did I do to make that happen? And kind of keep notes and do an analysis on and ask people to help you out.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to go and ask. There's lots of groups on Facebook and stuff too that are quite helpful.
I mean, trial and error is the best way to learn. One technical thing we can probably say is make sure that your shutter speed is always like 800 and up. Or what do you do, Deb? I know you do a little higher.
I try to keep my shutter speed at 1250 if I can. I shoot aperture priority so that I can control my depth of field to get the emotion I want in the image. But the most important thing for me as a shooter is stay true to your heart. Shoot from your own heart, because then that's going to come out in your images.
Yep.
Excellent. Those are great. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay. So Abby says, thank you so much. Thank you, Abby, for the question. That's really good. Very good. Thank you, Abby. Okay. So, so let's just go on to the next one. But before we do that, let's take a look at this here.
Oh, that's cool.
Love
great?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shows the body movements in such a cool way.
Yes, doesn't it? So if you're just joining us, I'm Laura Kelland-May, and our guests today are Jamie Baldanza and Deb Lee Carson, and we're talking about their new docuseries, Wild Lands, Wild Horses. And this broadcast is sponsored by Equestrian Skill Builders. Progress faster, ride effectively, and be extraordinary. So if we're going to go on to the next one here. Okay, my theme for this month is confidence. So, how do you get the horses confident so you're able to do and photograph them? Because wild horses, aren't they shy?
It depends. We go back to our heart herd, which is Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and we really learned the personalities of some of these stallions. Some of these stallions, they want to be seen. And if there was one time we were photographing and we were with this horse Thundercloud, and Deb goes, all right, he knows we're here. Let's go hide behind the rock because he's going to want to see us. And he comes out and he's like, peeks his head around and he's like, where'd you guys go? Like, so it just depends. Like, and that's a herd that's habituated to humans. But if you photograph a herd that's not habituated to humans, they'll see you and they'll be like, I don't want any part of this. Bye. And they'll run away. And then we're like, that sucked.
Yeah. Then we start over. Then we start hunting them like they're elk and hide behind rocks and trees and crawl through the sagebrush so that you can get close enough to get a shot. And hopefully you won't just get butts running the other way.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Totally hard.
Oh, I think Laura froze.
She did.
Looks like yeah, there
You're
we
back.
go.
You're back.
I'm back. Oh my gosh. And if that happens, just keep talking, please, because I think it's
course.
just me that's freezing up.
No,
It's
You and Deb.
not me. Yeah. It's because we live in the hinterlands.
Yes. Okay, so here's a great and who's that, Deb?
That's Johnny. He's excited to join us. There's Jamie.
Yay, Johnny.
Okay, so Lisa, thank you, Lisa, for giving us a comment. How do you stay fit to be able to hike through the landscape?
Oh my gosh.
I think hiking through the landscape is probably one way to keep fit.
I don't know. I can't keep up with Deb. Deb can run laps around me. I'm pretty lazy, so I don't know how. 100% transparency. I just do it. Have so much adrenaline while I'm out there. It doesn't matter how hard the terrain is. I will get there.
Yeah.
I hate the gym. So I don't really do anything except just wing it.
You just wing it.
I just wing it.
I can tell you how out of shape I am, Lisa. Last week while we were in Teddy Roosevelt, it's the first time since August I've been out on the range. And so in Minnesota, we're at about 1,200 feet. Well, the park's at 2,500 feet. So with a 30-pound pack in my gear, walking up a 200-foot butte, I'm like, so, but then the next weekend we were back and it was completely different because we'd been out on the range for a week. So I look at it as getting in shape as you work. So.
Well, elevation has a lot to do with that too. Yeah. And acclimating.
Margot, thank you so much for this comment. Hi, Deb Lee Carson and Jamie Baldanza Claps. What do you think is the most important thing for people to know about the wild horse and burros in the USA? Oh my gosh.
That's loaded.
Yes.
Thanks, Margot.
Thanks for putting us on the spot, Margot.
I'm kidding.
I guess for me right now is that they exist and they need voices and support.
Yeah.
So they can continue to be protected. I mean, there's so many things going on at so many different levels. It'd be impossible to get into them all right now. But I just want people to know they exist and they deserve to be heard.
I agree with Jamie on that. And that they're not, and they make amazing companions as adopted horses. They're just, you can't even describe the difference between a wild horse and a domestic horse.
So I guess once you get a friend of a wild horse, they're very loyal. Is that
absolutely? Yes.
Yeah.
The bond is so strong. It's nothing that I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah. Okay.
Good
So
question.
let's talk about, you mentioned it, wild horse adoption. So why is it important for the horse community to get involved and adopt these wild horses?
Well, for one, so wild horses do get rounded up by the borough land management. And so they get put into holding facilities where they are then offered up for adoption. So right now there's approximately 50,000 horses in holding facilities, some in long-term holding and some in short-term holding. If they're in short-term holding, they are able to be adopted to the public. And I think right now, and it's starting to change, they just always had a bad rep of not being a great horse for any discipline. But the truth is, you can basically find a wild horse for any discipline because they just vary so differently across the board. It just depends on what terrain they come from. I've seen amazing horses do dressage, eventing, hunter jumpers, trail riding, barrel racing, just being your best friend in the pasture. But it's really, really important for the equestrian community to step up, because if you love horses so much that your passion is riding, then you need to know on a different level that there are other issues for horses out there. And I think it's up to them as a community to help them out.
Excellent. That's nicely put. You get, how can you? I mean, that kind of covers everything, doesn't it?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so Margot says, "Love you, ladies. Thank you."
Love you too, Margot.
Okay, could you tell us a little bit about your shirts?
Oh,
what you're wearing?
All right. So this is a special edition Wild at Heart crew neck shirt that is hand tie-dyed by Top Notch Threads, which is a very new, awesome shirt company. They make everything in the US and everything's ethically done. And the proceeds go back to the Wild Lands Wild Horses Fund, which is an organization that Deb and I started. We're 501c3 pending, that will give money to any related horse cause. And then we also have a brand on the shirt. And that's for that little guy, Arnold, who's a 30-year-old Mustang that we found in a kill pen that we adopted. And now he's living his best life. He's a farm favorite. He's very opinionated.
How old is he?
He's 30. He's 30 years old, and he is the healthiest horse on the property.
So each one of these shirts a little is unique because they're all tie-dyed, right?
Yeah. There's not one that's the same.
Yeah. And they're super comfortable.
Oh my God, they're so soft. Yep. And I'm not just saying that because it benefits the wild horses, but they're really soft, and the company is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lisa wants to know where she can buy one. I'm putting the link right in there, topnotchstyle.com, and the products.
Lisa, buy one, and I want to see you wear it.
Yep, you have to post a picture of yourself with them.
And a hashtag.
Yes.
Wild lands, wild horses.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Do it. No pressure, Lisa.
Do you know Lisa?
We do know Lisa. She's amazing.
Yeah. So
that's okay. Even if we didn't know her, we'd say the same thing.
Right.
So there it is with the horse. And who's this in the picture?
That's Arnold.
Arnold.
Oh,
I meant the person, the woman.
Oh, that's Jamie. She cleans up really well.
I know. When I put makeup,
that's you.
I actually put makeup on today. Yeah, you wouldn't guess it. I'm usually in sweatpants.
Oh, so you decided to put some clothes on today for us. Well, that's awesome.
I did. It's a very special day indeed when I put makeup and clothes on. Real clothes.
Okay.
What Mike says too.
Okay, let's just change the topic here.
Welcome to our world.
I'd like to show some more photos here. Stop screen share, start screen share, share screen. I've got some photos that we'd like for you to look at.
Sure.
Photos, maybe you can explain to us what they are. And Oh, that's the
that was a
video.
drive-by shooting right there. That was
This one?
out of the window. Yep.
Yeah, we were in Onakee, Utah, and we didn't have a very successful day of shooting. And then I think we were leaving.
Yep.
And these two stallions decided to, to go at it. And we didn't have anything prepared. Our cameras weren't like assembled, and we just finally got it at the last second, and they gave us this.
Well, it is amazing. And, when you think about taking photos of wild horses, this is what you think of is the excitement, the stallions fighting and rearing and that type of thing, which I think it's probably pretty violent, really.
It can get very brutal.
There's 7 levels of agonistic behavior, and rarely does it get past level 1, 2, or 3. 1 is a sniff, and 2 might be a bump, and 3 might be more of a toss, and then this would be probably level 5. But during that brief 30 seconds, the stallions can go all through the 7 levels. Rarely does it ever get death threatening, but some people have photographed them when they've taken other stallions to the ground.
Yeah,
but more often than not, it doesn't last very long, and then you wait hours to see that type of behavior again.
That was probably 30 seconds.
Right.
So you just happen to be leaving or packing up your stuff or driving by. And wow. They
came out of nowhere, and we're like, oh my God, horses.
Yeah, get that shot.
That's the way I feel when I'm driving. I see horses in a paddock somewhere. Oh my God, there's horses. Yeah.
It never changes.
Yep.
Okay, so Anne Marie says that's an impressive shot. Yeah, it's impressive. All right. It's
thank you.
Yeah. So this is what you think of, but sometimes, okay, so this is getting back to the adoption, which is really where I wanted to go. So this is an adoption story.
Yeah.
And this is a behind the scenes of an adoption story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this was, his name's Finn, and he was adopted by Abigail Curtis. And he is one of the main adoption stories in the pilot episode of Twin Peaks. So we visit the range on Twin Peaks, and then we see also the new lives of the horses that were adopted from that range. And he was so freaking cute.
Right.
Oh my God, I just wanted to eat him up. He was so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And he had such a cool demeanor. He was just so chill.
So how long before a wild horse is taken into captivity that it can be adopted and then be used or be as a companion horse?
It depends. Usually it takes a month or a couple weeks just for them to go through I can't think of the word. To like
like a detox or something?
Yeah, like a process, quarantine.
Oh, okay.
Like all that stuff. And then it just depends. I mean, sometimes they can get up fairly quickly, and then sometimes they're shipped to other facilities and then they do the adoption. Sometimes there's an internet adoption and you can go online and bid on a horse. And then other times some horses just don't get bid on at all, and they can be there for years. So
they stay in a holding tank?
Mm-hmm. So they're called holding facilities. Some are small, some are big. It just depends on the actual place.
Right. And some are on grasslands. The BLM actually pays ranchers to host long-term holding, which are on huge grasslands in Oklahoma.
Come back. Crap.
Did Deb freeze?
I think we all froze. At least I did. Anyway, she was in the middle of a sentence. It was very interesting about the process of how horses get from being wild to being adopted. So it sounds like you're not against horses being adopted into good homes, but you would prefer them to stay wild, or would you rather them being adopted out?
I mean, from my personal perspective, I would definitely always prefer them to stay wild. That's where they were born. That's where they belong. But if they're going to be gathered or rounded up, then it's if we're going to take them from their environment, it's our obligation to find them the perfect home so they can be happy in their second stage of life.
Right. And I call it their new freedom home. You go from one freedom to another freedom with a human, and then going to another human, then they can also advocate for their own that are back out on the range. It'll just show people how amazing they are. And hopefully that will snowball. And then more and more people will like, wow, I have a wild horse. You have a wild horse? You want to meet my wild horse?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you meet a wild horse, it's like, wow, that horse was wild. I'm petting it. It's just, I can't explain what Miss Pinnacles has done for people when they come here. I get.
Can't explain what Pinnacles?
Yeah, that's the daughter of Blaze that we adopted in 2016.
Oh, okay.
So we use her as a spokesperson for all the Mustangs in the world.
A spokeshorse.
Yeah, spokeshorse.
So Delphine says, why are the horses being rounded up? That's a great question. You just kind of skipped over that. Like, why are they being rounded up? Why are they not able to stay being wild and where they are?
It's a very, very complicated question.
Oh, okay. Okay,
so there's multiple reasons. Some that we agree with and some we don't agree with. The main reason is they're allotted a certain amount of acreage of land to live on. And then what they do is they have the AML, which is the appropriate management level, right? Yeah. Appropriate management level. And that's how many horses that can be sustained on the land and have the land thrive as well.
Correct.
So when the horse reaches over that level or that number, they try to do a roundup. But what is conflicting for us is they don't figure out that AML often enough. Like the one herd, they figured it out 30 years ago. So how could that be accurate to today's number?
So the AML is the way they're being managed?
It's part of it.
Appropriate management level based on what the landscape can sustain, how much water is available.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the hardest thing for these horses in the western states of America is the lack of water that the BLM unfortunately doesn't always have access to because it's on private ranches. And that not only affects the wild horses, it affects all wildlife, elk, deer, pronghorn, whatever is out there.
Mm-hmm.
The landscape and water are the two biggest things. And unfortunately, the largest number of our horse herds are in high desert landscapes where there's very little water and very little forage.
And then they share that with private livestock.
Yeah.
So it becomes an issue of range wars. So that you can get deep into that,
right.
But
we're trying to walk the middle.
We're trying to walk the middle.
Yeah.
We may not. Yeah, we may not agree or be for everything, but we're trying to find a compromise so everyone can thrive in the environment.
Right. Yeah. There's so many stakeholders involved. It's not just ranchers and it's not just the wild horses. There's mineral rights. There are hunters. There are recreational vehicles. The list is long. When you really start looking at our public lands, the number of people that have a piece of it, it's a lot. It's a very complicated issue, but it's not unsurmountable, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
People are willing to sit down and have a conversation about it.
So how can people who are watching here today, for example, how can they help out or help you or help out wild horses? What can they do? I mean, we're a handful of people here. I'm in Canada. What can I do to help out the wild horses?
I mean, there's a couple things you can do right from your home. And the first thing is share their stories on social media. If you see an article or something you like, share it so more people can see it. Contact your representatives if there's an issue you want them to know about. It sounds like it might fall on deaf ears, but actually it really does help. And Deb and I have been very fortunate enough to have sit downs with some congressmen, and they absolutely encourage you to call them up and let them know. Even if they're for or against it, just put it on their radar.
Yes.
And then,
exactly.
And then
just to raise awareness. Maybe they don't know. Maybe, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what about buying those shirts? Will that help?
Yeah, well, so it would definitely help because it goes into a fund where Deb and I will help any wild horse cause, where it could be a horse in a kill pen that we bail out and send to a sanctuary, or if, say, a herd is lacking water, we raise funds to get water hauled out there, or education or legislation, advocacy. We don't want to put any boundaries on what wild horse issue it is. It's just money to help any wild horse issue.
Right. Okay. And what about, how does your docuseries fit into that? And how do people get involved and find out your docuseries? That
you mean to watch it?
Yeah. Well, how does your wildlands, wild horses docuseries fit into your advocacy to help the wild horse?
Well, it fits in because Deb and I have tried really hard to put multiple stakeholders on a platform to all tell their stories. But I mean, the major story is the horse. We want to tell their story, and we're only going to put out truth and only what we see. And then people can decide what they want to do with that. But when we take you to the range, you're actually seeing what it's like to be out in the West. And I think that's what people are really going to fall in love with and hopefully become invested in, and then go out for themselves and learn more about them.
And we're really trying to bring the horse to a bigger audience. And so more of America can realize that, like I did in 2006, we have horses here, wild horses. So we want more of America to fall in love with them. That's one of the biggest things.
Right. Yes. It's just to show people that they are there. Okay. So that's this one here. Now I do have another photo here. That's you. Okay. So what's happening here? Virtual screening and question and answers.
Yes. So this is your opportunity to see the very first episode on February 11th, and it will be followed by a virtual screening, a Q&A, and we're also going to give out some prizes. So we hope to see you there. We want as many people to come as possible. The proceeds from the tickets go right back to the Wildlands Wild Horses Fund. So you're watching this knowing your money is going to a good cause.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention that people who are watching today, I'm going to make a draw of somebody's going to get a free ticket. Right. So I didn't I forgot to mention that.
Yes, free tickets. Woo!
Yeah. Okay, so Delphine says, what's the situation for wild horses in Canada? Well, Jamie and Deb, maybe we could do a Wild Horse Canada series.
So
we'd be up for that.
It's interesting that you say that, because if we get picked up, season 2 will explore wild horses around the world. And of course, Canada will be featured.
Good. Keep me in mind for that one.
We will.
Okay, so Lisa also has a comment here. So changing the tense topic, Jamie, what's your favorite wild horse?
Oh, geez. I don't know if I have one. I have multiple favorites. One of them's deceased. His name is Baja, and he is a prior Mustang who is the sire to one of my adopted, actually Baja and Moshiki. They were paired together as mare and stallion, and they just have the most beautiful bloodlines of horses. I have Flax, who is, their offspring. And then I know Lisa has Bixby. Is it Bixie? I can never pronounce it, which is another offspring, but I love him. He is just so magnificent. He passed away last year, I believe. And then I also like Flax.
Okay, Jamie, you're going to go on forever about
I know. Just stop me. Okay, that's one.
Okay, and Margot has a question about the shirts. Do they run true to size? Well, I don't know.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm wearing a medium, Margot.
No, but Deb's a small, but she likes her shirts big.
I have long arms. I needed the length.
So Lisa says
Biloxi.
Biloxi.
Oh, this is very interesting comment. Jerry, thank you, Jerry. I've had my Mustang girl for 2 years, first time owner, so agree that they are very special creatures.
Jerry, which HMA is your horse from?
That would be a really great show, Jamie and Deb, is to have people like call in and say, yeah, I've had one.
Absolutely.
And this is why I love it so much.
Yep.
So I would like to play a little bit more of the video that is so people can see what when they go to Wildlands, Wild Horses, what some of the things they're going to see, if that's okay.
Cool. Absolutely.
Okay. So let me just start it from the beginning. Where's this?
That's in Oregon. That's actually Skydog Sanctuary.
And this too?
That's Oniki, Utah.
There's nothing like
Utah.
watching.
Yeah.
Sorry, her cat's getting her. I think she froze. That is Utah. And it was sunset. And we just lucked out and they all just started running and we're like, we got the money shot.
Kidding, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they were all heading towards the watering hole.
Yeah.
And we were just at the right place in the right time. And Deb's going to sing for us.
I am?
No.
What am I going to sing? I'm not going to cry.
What?
So I'm not going to cry.
No. So Deb, what would you like to sing for the guests until Laura unfreezes?
Oh, is she frozen too? Oh.
Yeah. Am I frozen? Oh,
no,
she's gone.
Pregnant.
Oh God, she's gone.
Oh, we're on our own. Did you see me try to beat Johnny? Because he bit me in the shoulder, that little turd.
Hi, guys. All right. Unfortunately, Laura can't be with us anymore. Now this is the Jamie and Deb show. Just kidding. We love her.
Oh, that poor kid. She must feel horrible. Wow. Well, you're behind me. Can anybody name who that is? Margot still with us? Margot, you should know who that is. Can you see it?
I know who that is.
Yeah. He was my second favorite stallion to photograph in the park.
He's majestical.
Yeah. He was the unicorn.
The unicorn of Theodore Roosevelt National Park.
He's not with us anymore, though. He died too. Yeah. Good old
Greg. All right, well, there she is, Grego!
I don't see her yet.
Yeah, no, she just typed it.
Grego. Oh, how come I'm not seeing the chat?
Oh, you have to hit comments, not private chat.
Ah, what a dork I am.
Winner for Margot.
Yeah. Oh, so Jerry, yours is a Diamond Hills. What HMA is that?
Yeah, where is Diamond Hills? I've never heard of it.
I haven't either.
Is it Nevada? It must be Nevada.
I don't know. Jerry, what do you think?
Do you know Jerry?
I see that, Margot. Gray Ghost. Good job.
Nevada. There we go.
Diamond Hills. Diamond Hills. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah. I think I'm actually going to go to Ewing in May with a friend to pick up a horse.
Is that the one that we talked about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
So everyone who's in the there you go.
We're not going to tell you what we talked about.
Oh my goodness! Thank you for carrying on. We just totally dropped out.
That's
yeah. We made him guess who this horse was in the picture behind me.
Oh, good. I was going to ask you about that photo. Actually, it's great. So I do want to share this video. It's hopefully I don't drop out again. There's a lot of swearing and screeching. Okay, so start again, please. Okay.
Horses built this country.
And do you have a name for this horse?
No.
Okay. So some of them have names and some of them don't.
There's
Correct.
nothing like watching them sail across the landscape.
What was that horse doing just pawing there? Was he going to roll or something?
No, he's being aggressive. That's an aggressive behavior towards another stallion coming up behind him or from the side, or that's a posturing behavior.
So beware. You're bothering me.
Beware to the other horse. And then for us, as a photographer, those are what I call tells. Like, oh, okay, be ready, because this could escalate into something epic.
Okay.
To that.
Wow, that's what escalated to?
Mhm.
That one didn't, but it can happen.
Okay, so this gray horse is kind of grooming the other horse.
Just nuzzling,
Yeah.
scratching his nose.
Do you ever get tired of watching this?
Nope.
I like that picture. Oh, that's awesome. I like the picture of you walking with your camera. There was probably a lot of that happening.
We need to bring awareness to America, so in 50 years, our grandkids can experience what it's like out in the Wild West and revel in that moment when a wild horse runs by, mesmerized by the sheer power and beauty. Because if they're not here anymore, we lost a direct link to our heritage, our history, and everything else that comes with it. So come with Deb Lee Carson and I, two wild horse photographers.
Okay, what are you listening to? Is it
Oh
it Rolling Stones or is it something else?
no!
Is
So
that boys around here?
no. So each time we go out, we pick like a theme song. This one was "High Hopes" by Panic at the Disco.
Oh, that's right.
I'm an awful singer and I have a cold, but I got high hopes for a living.
Da, da,
Da, da, da, da.
Looking to make a difference as we take you through the Wild West and show you the world of our beautiful American icon, the wild horse.
I know, right? I love it.
Awesome. Very lovely. So Delphine says, great video, Laura. Yes, thank you. Well, it wasn't me. It's Jamie and Deb.
Thank you, Laura. Delphine.
Yeah.
And Jerry says, video's taking my breath away.
Well, hopefully there will be much more of that. And
Yeah.
if you come to the viewing, you'll see a lot more.
Yes. So, yeah. So I will, we'd like to wrap things up now. And I would like to invite everybody to go to, I'm just going to put that in the comments here again and post it here. But I'm just looking for here it is here. Show. I'm going to copy it first. Save and show it. That's the link. I'm going to remove it. That's the link, and I'm going to post it here so that you can all go to the link and get your ticket. But remember that I'm going to be giving away a free ticket.
Woo!
So Jerry says 2 thumbs up. Lisa says I've watched it 4 times last week. I think I watched it 4 times this morning.
I want to go back up to Jerry. Jerry, where are you from? Are you from Wisconsin?
Jerry says, my girl was gentled by Ryan Rose and his 2018 Mustang taming course in Wisconsin. My mentor brought home 2 that year. Ryan has held that course each year since. This year it's August again.
I have to look into that.
Yeah, totally.
Margot, so you know Jerry?
I think she's just saying, yeah, with Wisconsin.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right. Well, we need to connect with Jerry somehow. Learn more about her ponies.
Okay, very good. Michigan, she says.
Okay.
Okay, Judith says.
Judith. Hi, Judith.
Hi, Judith.
She's got adopted horses from Teddy Roosevelt also.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So thank you so much. I want to thank you very much for staying with me while we had a few little things here, and I will get in contact with the person who wins the free ticket. So thank you so
Awesome.
much, and
Very
we're going to
cool.
sign off now, and we shall see you later. Thanks now.
Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Laura, thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.